Out, Mike.
All right.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Let's call this meeting to order, and please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The fiscal officer, please call the roll.
Trustee Sear, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Township Administrator.
Here.
Chief of Fire.
Here.
Chief of Police.
Here.
And Superintendent of Public Works.
Here.
Our next meeting will be March 17th, 2021 at 12 p.m. And I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda with flexibility.
I'll second.
All right, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sear.
Yes.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second.
Okay, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sear.
Yes. And I'd like to make a motion to approve payroll.
I'll second.
Okay, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sear.
Yes. Fiscal officer, go to fiscal report.
All right, so for January 1st, 2021, the township had an overall fund balance of $6,731,587.70. For revenue in January, the township brought in $212,361.17. Expenditures in January were $461,732.75, leaving us with an overall fund balance on January 31st of $6,482,216.12.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the January fiscal report.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sear.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from our February 17th, 2021 meeting.
I'll second.
And just a quick note on, at the last meeting, we started having folks email the township administrator questions. And I should have realized before I typed up the minutes, traditionally when we meet in person, when someone asks a question, I add their name to the minutes. So we forgot to do that. So moving forward, if folks email a question, we just need to say what person sent in that question. So there's a small detail there.
Okay.
Hope that makes sense to everyone. That's what we would do if we met in person. Okay, ready for the roll call then?
I think so.
Okay. Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sear.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to amend the 2021 temporary appropriations.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sear.
Yes.
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 So I'd like to make a motion to authorize the township administrator to apply for the Ohio EPA's Encouraging Environmental Excellence for Communities program on behalf of the township and designate the administrator as agent for any subsequent application and program-related activities.
I'll second.
Just by way of connecting the dots, at our last meeting, we mentioned Sustainability Committee had found this program and had worked on this application. We sent out our first draft of that to y'all shortly after that. And so this is just sort of board authorization to continue. Basically what the program does is it'll award different levels of sustainability activity based on the application. So was a great way for sustainability to get started, and look forward to your support on that if we can get it. If there are questions or
Nope.
Okay.
All right, Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sear.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. Committee reports, team reports.
I'll start with the free produce market. We distributed 8,400 pounds of produce at our last produce market. Unfortunately, I had to leave a little bit early, so I am not aware of the final number. Chief Rayleigh, do you have that?
We were right at 150.
Nice. So it looks like the word has spread and it's catching on pretty well throughout the community. We're excited that it is continually growing. So if you know anyone or if you yourself need some free fresh produce, come out and join us. As always, no income or zip code restrictions. If you get on the Clinton Township Fire Department's Facebook page, I believe it's on our main page as well. The flyer is posted there in multiple languages. Feel free to share that far and wide. One less trip to the grocery store is one less exposure. Not just about income or the need. Our goal is full circle here, so come join us.
Well, I have a question for y'all on produce.
Sure.
I was chatting with an elderly friend, and she lives alone. And I asked her if she went to one produce market when I sent her the link, and I asked her if she was still going or if she goes anymore. And she said she didn't because the volume of food just felt like so much that it was hard for her to feel like she ought to be taking that much home. And so I assumed that the packing is for families are coming through here, but I didn't know if there's a way or if it's even worth it to help people who might just need smaller amounts or want smaller amounts. I don't know what the process is really like.
If
I
you
think,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we've started having a really good conversation as they're pulling into the building about quantity of need. Previously, it was a prepackaged amount that we would basically try to put in every car, but now we base it on how many families they're picking up for, or if it's an individual or a large single family. So I don't know when she came through, but I think that might be a little different now.
Yeah, it's been a while. That's great though. I'll tell her.
Yeah, we kind of, as they come through the line, some people don't like pineapple, so we always Are you into pineapple? How many do you want? How many families do you have? So they've got some choice there as well, as to what they're getting to. So if they won't use it, we can pass it along to somebody who will.
Great. Okay, thanks.
And Chief, really, isn't there the food box that goes out once a month as well, that perhaps would work for that resident?
Correct. But that is shelf-stable food. It's not produce. However, I was going to try to advertise that again. It's for the township residents 60 years of age or older who would like to have a box of shelf-stable food delivered to their home. We're up to about 45 seniors that we're delivering those to today. But anyone can reach out to me at 614-475-0022 or my email address, which we have listed on the website, and I can get you signed up for that. There is some self-reported income requirements for that program, but it's pretty easy to get you signed up. So if that's something you're interested in, don't hesitate to give me a call or email.
I want to highlight that too, that is delivered to your door. So you do not have to come pick it up. So we do bring that directly to the resident.
And just to keep bragging about our success here, also these programs help reduce the food waste that ends up in our landfills. So there's a lot of win-wins about folks participating in this. And as Trustee Sword said, there isn't an income requirement for the drive-through produce markets that happen about every other Friday. So it's a sustainable thing too.
Absolutely. We also have a ton of different resources and people from those organizations that actually go down the line of cars to see if anybody needs help with Medicaid or Medicare questions. We have the Columbus Division of Fire React team out pretty frequently, giving out free doses of naloxone. They will educate you on its use and when not to use it while you're there waiting in line. So it's just an all-around amazing thing. On any given produce market, you'll run into multiple different resources. If anybody has any suggestions on what would be helpful at these events, please feel free to reach out to Chief Fraley or myself as well via email. We are happy to add whatever the community thinks we need. If we can get them out there, we will.
Anything else from other committees or other team reports? Just we'll brief the board that while we're working on the Ohio EPA thing that we just authorized, I'm also meeting with a regional forester from Department of Natural Resources next week to talk about the Tree City USA program and whether or not that's appropriate for us, and if we want to start having conversations about street trees. So hope to be bringing you some actual information about that soon, but just a heads up at this point that we're taking a look to see what we can learn there. Okay, at this point, I'd like to use flexibility and jump to Chief of Police, Chief Jones.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to put on just some information before I have some purchase orders to push forward. We started, wrong verbiage there. We started a sustainability group here in Clinton Township with department heads, Trustee Sarah. Something I've been looking into for several months now, I'm going to go back about 7 months, was the practical use of electric vehicles going green for some of our fleet vehicles, especially here in the police department. Did my screen go out? Okay. But I think we're going to try to get a chart up as I go along with the program here. But something caught my eye, Bargersville, Indiana, started the use of Tesla Model 3 vehicles as police cars. And looking into that further, I did speak with the chief there and also another department in Westport, Connecticut that started using all electric vehicles in their police fleets. So besides going green, energy, fuel costs, it's quite a bit of savings that I noticed we could potentially have here in Clinton Township as well, with the attributes of going green, all electric vehicles, and our share of progressing our leadership forward with what we're doing here at Clinton Township. So rolling into that over the last few months, I was able to make contact with some of our emergency equipment vendors to see if this would be an adequate solution for Clinton Township. As far as putting emergency lights on these type of vehicles, being able to transport prisoners with some of the equipment from Havas and Wayland, and it all came together here kind of in the last few months. So moving forward, looking at fuel savings, if you can get it up there, Matt, just to kind of show folks, are you able to do that?
I just sent it to Trustee Sarah, who has a little more experience with this, so hopefully she'll be able to get it up for us.
Okay. But going back to talking to these other communities that started these kind of as a pioneering effort, they're able to save quite a bit of money per vehicle per year. Typically for Clinton Township, we took an average cost of what our fleet runs, with average fuel cost being about $3,600, average maintenance on a Ford Explorer being about close to $1,000. And the savings from going to an all-electric vehicle and fuel costs would save us about $2,700, maintenance costs around $871. And that's per year. So you multiply that times vehicles in our fleet, you know, we're going to be saving tens of thousands of dollars moving forward by initiating this project. Typical cost for a Ford Explorer right now under state bid is around $37,282. The cost for a Tesla Y, which is kind of their mid-size vehicle that would be practical for police use, that enables us to transport people in the back of the car, that initial cost is $50,990. So one of the primary concerns I had was purchasing a vehicle higher than what we would buy these Ford Explorers for. But moving forward, when you look at maintenance costs and fuel costs, comparing the Ford to a Tesla, we're going to get that savings back pretty rapidly. The other thing to obtain us a lower cost price to purchase was us reducing our current gas fleet. So we are putting 4 of our gas-powered Fords on Gov Deals for auction. Those are bringing in anywhere from $15,600. The 2 we have currently on auction right now look to be bringing in about $9,000 each. That bid closes Friday. So by the time we purchase and go to pay for these Teslas, we're actually going to be paying less for these 2 with our method than purchasing the Ford Explorer on state bid for $37,000. Once we trade in the current cars we have, I'm guessing or estimating a cost of about $30,000 for the Tesla. And that's on the price. The initial investment I show on this screen here is $35,390, but that's before we put the other 3 on Gov bids, the other 3 used cars that we have now. So we are also able to reduce our fleet size. With the Tesla, we can operate these up to 2 shifts before they would need a recharge, 2 days. Currently with the Fords or the Chevy Tahoes we have, my big issue is that constant idle time. When you see the officers out on the street, the cars are sitting on the side of the road. They're at a scene somewhere, they're running for hours at a time, and that idle time is polluting the air. With the all-electric vehicle, we're not using energy when it's sitting still at a scene somewhere at a traffic crash or at a residence taking a report. There's no fuel being wasted. So the savings and the cost per fuel that we spend in idle time is quite significant in going to all electric. We lost our slide. But we can put that back up, or I think if we can get that on the website later. But so in talking to some folks that are much smarter than me about comparing these fuel costs, the Department of Energy estimates it'll cost us about 68 cents to drive 25 miles in an all-electric car such as the Tesla Model Y. That same distance in the Chevy Tahoe would be about $2.64, or Ford Explorer, and that's based on the 45% highway, 55% city driving standards they use. These estimates were put together for us back in December. That's when fuel was $2.01 a gallon for gasoline, regular and leaded, and energy cost based on the kilowatt per hour of 10 cents. We know today, looking outside, gas right now is about $2.79 a gallon. So the savings is going to be even more tremendous with these gas prices going up. These were based on a price of $2.01 per gallon. It's going to be probably more toward $1 by summertime when people start moving out and about after we get through some of our COVID issues. So I see that cost savings more beneficial as we move forward. Kind of getting into the tech part of this program with electric vehicles, there's going to be a lot of vendors, manufacturers in the next 4 years. I know by 2025, 2026, we're going to see a lot of manufacturers putting out all electric vehicles. Ford, GM, semis, trucks. So we're kind of on the forefront of doing this with our police vehicles. And I know we're gonna talk about code here later on as well. But in moving to a green fleet right now, Yellow Cab here in Columbus has purchased 20 Model Ys. They have gone the green direction. They are already starting to see a savings. And some other municipalities are looking into green as well. However, I believe we're the first township. We're going to be the first ones in Central Ohio on the police side of things. In dealing with the folks at Tesla and these other manufacturers, this is a pretty, I think, big and bold step for us. And again, with progressive leadership here and our elected officials here, I would just like to move this forward and start our pilot program here and get this out to everyone.
Thanks, Chief. I'm gonna make a motion to create a PO for Tesla in the amount of $100,000 for 2 new police vehicles, Model Y, from line 2081, 760, 750.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Very
Just
excited.
want to say thanks, Mike, for digging in and doing this legwork. I know it's been a lot, and good work.
Yeah, and kudos to some of the chiefs I've talked to that have already gone this route. And again, with our vendors that we're going to work with. But again, the biggest takeaway with us in Central Ohio is the progressiveness, I think. Electric vehicles going green. And again, this is savings from our departments that we can move into other aspects. So instead of gasoline and maintenance costs, we use that money for other kind of criminal justice issues and township issues. So it's a big savings to our taxpayers and the constituents as well.
Win-win. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
And if you guys want me to finish up now, I just got 2 other items. So I'd also like to request a purchase order to Par Public Safety for the emergency equipment, not to exceed $15,873. And that is from Fund 2251-210-740 and Fund 2081-210-430.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
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 And last item I would have, I didn't get it on there in time, but Travis Carpenter retired effective March 1st, and I would like a resolution for our FOP contract to, I'm going to buy his gun and badge for him for $1, just so we have that in resolution.
Make a motion to sell Travis Carpenter's badge and service weapon for $1 on his retirement.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, who seconded that? Okay. Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
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 And just the last thing I'd like to give some shout outs to Fiscal Officer Steele and Administrator Huffman kind of been working with me. We had some contact last week with Clean Fuels Ohio. We were working on some EV charging issues, and I think we've gotten all that put together to move forward with fleet electrification, as they call it. I'm learning all some new technology terms. But yeah, those folks have been a real big assistance to us also, and look forward to working with them in the future. That's all I have.
Thanks, Chief. Mr. Huffman.
Thank you. Resolution 1 is that, well, I'd like to request a motion to hire Glenda Mahali as a full-time community affairs public relations specialist and assistant to the board at the rate of $22 an hour, effective Monday, March 8th, 2021, pending the completion of background and drug screen, to be paid from line item 1000-110-132.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Second, request a resolution to surplus the following vehicle, a 2014 Ford Transit Connect XLT, last 4 of VIN 3187, to be sold on GovDeals.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
To go along with Chief Jones' comments about electric vehicles and everything, the next one is to request a PO in the amount of $38,000 payable to Tesla for a new Model 3 for code compliance electric vehicle from line item 1000-130-750.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 4, the Salt Barn RFQ updates. I submitted an RFQ to be posted online and sent directly to certain contractors. They had a deadline of March 1st to submit any qualifications. I did not receive any. I think part of the issue is it's a small project. And a lot of people probably just didn't want to take the time for the small projects. So at this point, I'm reviewing other options. I have reached out to at least one other township who built a salt barn within the last year. They gave me some good ideas that I'll probably continue pursuing in regards to that. I think if we can do something similar to what they did, we can probably have it completed before next year's salt situation comes into play. So unfortunately, we didn't receive any RFQs, so I'm going to pursue other options. Number 5 is the tree clearing on Ormond Avenue. This was mentioned last meeting as well. That will start on Monday, March 8th. The county engineer's office is supposed to be sending letters out to the residents on the south side. The removal of those trees is mainly to assist with the drainage project and installation of sidewalks on the south side of Ormond. I've since learned from Superintendent Flagg that the trees that are out there are also kind of a dirty tree. They drop big brown pods that could potentially be clogging issues for drainage as well. So as much as we would prefer to keep the trees, the drainage and the sidewalk issues are, I think, more important, and removing some dirty trees, if you will, from the township would also be a benefit.
Are those catalpas, Corey? Yeah, back in the day, they were thought of as street trees. That's all the more reason to have that conversation with the Tree City USA people to get some species in here that are gonna suit our needs better.
Yeah, there are several types of trees specific for tree lawns, where the trees roots tend to go more straight down versus horizontal, which then don't affect the sidewalks and the streets. So that's something we could pursue with the Tree City application, or if that doesn't work out, perhaps still on our own. And then my monthly report was submitted to the trustees.
Thank
And
you.
that's all I have.
Chief Fraley? Chief, you're muted.
We have a few items today. We'd like to request a PO in the amount of $44,360.80 payable to Stryker for a new EMS cot and power load system for the new medic. This would be from line item 2281, 230, 430.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
And next, we'd like to request a PO in the amount of $2,546.88 payable to Gatchel Grant Resources for grant writing fees from line 2281, 230, 430.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
And last, we'd like to request a PO in the amount of $31,836 payable to Aeroclave LLC for 2 decontamination systems from line item 2111-230-430.
Moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jesberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yes.
Yes.
And just so everyone's aware that the Aeroclave units are a award from a FEMA AFG COVID-19 supplemental grant, so those monies will be reimbursed after we make the purchase.
Great job with the grant. Congratulations.
And last, we had a monthly report. I apologize for sending it out late, just sent it this morning. I'll read through it real quick. For responses, Engine 61 had 224 incidents. Medic 61, 278. Medic 62 responded to 12 incidents. We had the station cars 62, responded to 6, and I responded to 15. Under training, the division logged 75 hours of training on various EMS and fire topics. We have our newest 3 full-time firefighters are currently in officer in charge training. This allows them to be the acting shift officer when the senior staff are off. It gives us a little more flexibility when the lieutenant and the senior firefighter on the shift are off. That person can actually be in charge instead of overtiming the shift. So that'll actually take a few months. They have some orientation they have to do with riding in the in-charge seat and having a lieutenant behind them for so many shifts. And there's also some classes we do along with that. So under fire prevention, fire safety inspector conducted 26 inspections and updated the pre-plan books with current information for building contacts and occupancy use. And under our community outreach and partnering agencies, the firefighters assisted with the produce markets on the 12th and 26th. 57 doses of Narcan were distributed at the markets by the Columbus React team. 45 boxes of food were delivered through the CSFP program on the 12th. A drive-through COVID-19 testing event was conducted on the 13th, and we had 22 participants. And also our firefighters have been assisting Franklin County Public Health by administering vaccinations at the mass vaccination clinic on Morris Road. And one other item to add with flexibility, yesterday I picked up some free take-home COVID-19 testing kits that are first come, first serve. We've advertised them on the Facebook page. So if anyone would be interested, again, you can either email me through, it's on the website or on the Facebook page, or you can call my office again at 614-475-0022. 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. If you're feeling symptomatic and would like to have a test, again, they're free take-home tests. That's all we have.
Thanks, Chief. Superintendent Flip?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to let everyone know that our salt suppliers were able to catch up on other orders, so we have a good supply in our salt barn. With the weather improving, hopefully we won't need it.
I love a good March storm. Come on.
And it came in as a lamb, so, you know.
Well, we have enough to handle it.
Thanks, Corey. And we have your report. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
We're on to appreciations.
I'd like to thank the Franklin County Engineers Office for supplying us with enough road salt to get through the past 2 big storms. And I'd also like to say thanks for the crew. They've done an excellent job all winter. They lost a lot of sleep, and it's been a learning experience for them. It was a pretty hard winter.
Yeah. Thank the guys. Okay. Other items?
I would,
Oh, sorry.
I
go ahead.
have one thank you as well. I would just like to thank everybody on our board and department heads here. The collaboration with us, the sustainability group, being able to let us think outside the box, like the electric vehicles. I think there's a lot of places that would kind of simmer people down from letting them explore those kind of ideas. So again, I think our group here in collaborating and thinking outside the box, I would just like to thank everybody for being team players and us being able to be a little progressive here. So thank you.
Any other appreciations? Okay. So now we're on to other items. Any questions from the public today, Mr. Huffman?
I have not received any emails.
Okay, thank you. At this point, I'd like to make a motion to enter an executive session per ORC 121-22 G2 to consider the purchase of property for public purposes.
I'll second.
Trustee Sword, Trustee Jessberger, Trustee Sierra.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mr. Huffman will see us in Teams, and I think department heads. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, we are back in session at 1:25. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you guys and gals.
Thanks you. See ya.
See ya.